Welcome to Lawn Care Business Academy. Recently, there was a request for the template that I use for tracking my business expenses. Instead of sharing the exact template, I want to show you how to make your own. And that's what today's video is about, tracking your business's expenses and income with Google Sheets. And instead of following along on a PowerPoint slide, we're actually going to go ahead and pull up an actual spreadsheet so that you can follow along. And I'm going to be going pretty fast, so you may have to pause if you want to follow along and do what I'm doing. But we'll get right started. Do a Google search for Google Sheets. If you don't know how to get there, you'll log into Google, you'll click on create a new spreadsheet, and this is what you'll see. Untitled spreadsheet over here. We can click on that and rename it whatever you want to. We're going to do 2017 income and expenses. Then we come down here. Now the first thing we're going to do is make a heading for this sheet, just something that looks a little bit nice so we can kind of have, when we open it up, we know exactly what we're looking at. We're going to click on cell A1, click and hold, and then drag over as much or as little as you want. All this stuff that I'm doing, guys, it's just guidelines. This is what works for me. You alter it, you change it to fit whatever you like best. Because at the end of the day, if you don't like the budget sheet, the income tracker that you set up, you're not going to use it. So do what you like, because that's the most important thing. So we've got all these cells selected. We're going to come over here and click merge cells. That makes them all one cell. And now we can click in there and type in 2017 income and expenses for lawns, which is going to be our made up business name. Now it looks a little underwhelming, so we can click on it and change some aspects of it. The first thing we can do is come over to this field that says horizontal align, left, center, and right. Let's click center, and that'll center it up nicely. Our font size, we can make it bigger. Let's try 18. Yep, that looks pretty good. We can also change the color of the box, fill color. Let's click that. And I'm going to do a dark green. Well, dark text and dark backgrounds don't go well together. So now I'm going to change the font color here to white. And that looks a little bit nicer. So that's just aesthetics that is just to look pretty. But now we're going to get into the actual information. So what I want you to do is pause the video for a few seconds and think to yourself, what are some important categories? What are some important data points that we need to capture for income and expenses? So a few that I think are critical and probably the minimum that you can get away with are the following. First of all, date, right? We need to know when we spent something. Second, probably the most important, the amount. And I guess if you didn't have anything else, the amount was the one thing you would have to have. Location, maybe. Where did we purchase something at, or where did we get income from? That might be good. A category, if we want to do any type of sorting. And then maybe some details if we have something that we need to add that isn't covered in these ones. So we'll walk through a fictional story. Don't worry about the dates. Don't worry about the numbers. They're not going to make sense because this is just made up to kind of drive where we're getting at. So date, let's say January 1st, you go ahead. Well, let's make it more realistic than that. Let's say April 1st, you want to start your lawn care company. I type in 4117. Now, on April 1st, you went to Walmart or Lowe's or Best Buy. Well, not Best Buy, Home Depot, wherever you went to, and you bought a lawnmower and a gas can. So we're going to start filling it out. You spent, let's say, $150. You got the base model and a 2-gallon gas can at Walmart or wherever. Now, category, we can say equipment, right? That would probably be a good generic category for this. And then details, gas can, lawnmower. So now when we look at this line item, we know what it was that we spent. I just double clicked on this blue line here and you saw it shrank it down. What we're actually going to do is click and drag it out a little bit so that all the text will fit. So you've got your gas can and your lawnmower, you're driving home and you say, you know what, I need some gas in this, don't I? So April 1st, that same day, again, 4117, you go to the gas station that's on the way home and you buy 3 gallons of ethanol free gasoline and it costs $9.50. And this is gas station. Category, of course, would be gasoline. And then details, we can say 3 gallons ethanol free. So you've got your gas, you load up, you go home, you get out, and your neighbor, John Doe, says, hey, are you mowing lawns now? And you say, yeah, absolutely. And he says, that's great. Will you do mine right now? I'll give you $35. And you say, hey, this is awesome. Haven't even made it home yet, and I'm already making business. So April 1st, 2017, he gives you $30. And we're actually going to stop right here. You might see an issue. 150 is what we spent. 950 is what we spent. $30 is what we made, right? So the issue is if we just add these numbers, they aren't going to mean anything because these two numbers were what we spent and this number is what we made. We can't just add those together. So it's very important when you input your numbers that anything that is an expense has a minus sign in front of it. See how that's minus 150? This 950, we're going to do minus. And then money that you make just stays positive. And we're going to see why that's important in just a second. But for our location, let's put in the address of our client. And for our category, we can just do income. That'll be simple enough. And then details, we can say mow Mr. John Doe's yard, whatever you want to put. So this is the most simplistic way to track your income and expenses, but it's very, very effective because you've got all the information you need when you spent things, how much you spent on things, where, the category, the details of it. And in future videos, we're going to dig into all the different things you can do with just these 5 categories. All the different data that you can pull is just going to be staggering from just these simple things. But the most important thing is we're going to do now. YTD year to date total. We're going to make a new column over here, wherever you want. We're going to click in here and we're going to type equals sum, SUM, equals sum. This tells Excel, all right, now I want you to add up something. If you look at the 9 and the 0 key on your keyboard, you're going to see parentheses above them. We're going to hit Shift and 9 to get a parenthesis, and then we're going to come over to column B, which is all our money. We're going to click column B, and then we're going to do Shift 0, which closes it. So what we've just told the system is, I want you to add up everything that is in column B. And this is why those negatives are important, because when we hit enter, we're going to see that we have negative 129.50. Well, what does this mean? Well, it means that as of April 1st, our business is $129.50 in the hole, right? Because we spent $159.50 on equipment and gasoline, and we've only made $30. What we'll do now, you see how that 129.50 isn't money? It is not a dollar sign. We're going to come over here and we're going to click Format as Currency. And then we're going to click on cell B, the whole column. And we're going to do the same thing, Format as Currency. And you see how it threw some decimals in there. Whenever you type this now, you won't have to worry about a dollar sign. Do the same thing over here. A, we're going to come over here, More Formats, and we're going to have date down here. And now all of them are the same. So guys, this is the simplest way you can create a template for tracking your income and expenses. And in future videos, we're going to go over a little bit more. In paid videos, we're going to go into a huge amount of detail. But we've seen here the basics for tracking your income and expenses. And as you go through, let's say you get another $30 yard and another $30 yard, and then you've got to spend minus $10 in gas. You can see how this very flexible and simple tool will help you figure out where your business stands during the year. So I hope that helped, and we'll look at some more examples soon of how to use Google Sheets.